Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Middle Eight Podcast. My name is Cherry V. Who's next?
I'm Jermaine Riley. Oh, sorry, did you say something?
Go, Jermaine. Go. You go true.
I'm Jermaine Riley, guys. Hi, how you doing?
And I'm Ricardo Williams. Bam, 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 bam.
AKA Slimmer than that.
Gunshot dinner them but
Boy. Okay, so we have had an eventful week in terms of like what's been going on in social media, what's been going on in the news, all that stuff. If you haven't yet checked us out, guys, and you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and like and drop a comment about what you feel about the content. And if you haven't checked it out yet, we are on digital streaming platforms. This is jokes.
I make it look easy, goddammit.
Yeah, you did. I'm tweaking right now. Check us out on digital streaming platforms, including Spotify and all the other good things. Right. So, as I said, it's been quite an eventful couple of weeks in the press. We've seen some, we've lost some, we've commented on some. But I guess we're going to start with, did you guys see a man like Kid Kudi in his flowery frock?
Yeah, I just watched it. I literally just watched it because I needed to know what the fuss was about, basically.
That's how I felt, Jermaine. Like, that's how I felt. Like, it's big 2021. Like, why is the internet going mad over Kid Kudi wearing a dress? It's 2021. If it was 95, I could understand. But it's like we've seen it.
It's very telling.
I get it. You know why?
Go on.
Because I'm out of order frocks, bro.
That's my only critique. Is you could have been wearing something else, bro.
I know, like obviously, like he done the floral frock because it was something a tribute to Kurt Cobain. Yeah. But I'm like, fam, you could have got some 2021 version, yeah.
You could have looked snatched, my G.
That was wicked. You know what I mean? With all one matching bashy hat. You know them outfits that she posted.
Yeah.
Where the frock is just like shoom, and the hat is just like shoom.
Man.
Like
that's how I felt. Like, it wasn't.
Why did you go away?
You should have really, really embraced. Like we've got stuff like RuPaul's Drag Race and all that. You've got content to guide you through, bro. Like you could have. It could have just been. You could have been cinched. You could have been. You could have turned around and seen some. I don't know, man. That's my only thing. I mean, the whole fact that it's a dress is like, all right, guys, cool. It's material in it, like it's whatever. And trying to my overall view about it. It's so I'm so layered. I think like you guys should really speak on what you need to speak on first because my thing is a bit layered. Because people's frustration, like when I looked at a YouTube video and someone was like, what are they doing to our people? And I can't even begin.
Like the homophobia. Layers,
it's like, it's so funny because obviously, my stance is, I'm coming from a perspective where I'm, homosexual and all these types of things. I have a more, I may have a more like open-minded view on these types of things and a very like, just a willingness to embrace whatever. And I don't want people to think that that's the angle that I'm coming from just because, well, he's gay anyway, he's gonna say that. You get me? Like, it's just like, there's certain basic things about just the rules and regulations of what to do and how to live that have been put in place by people we don't know since forever, and it's just like, you guys are abiding by rules and constructs and all these types of things when it's like, if it was so simple, it would be so simple. Do you get me? Like, you wouldn't find such complex individuals, and things wouldn't seem so complicated if this is just how it was meant to be. Like, you know, the bees traveling from one flower to the next. It's like, oh, bees like hot dogs now. That's their natural thing. It's like, you get me? Like, we are doing how people are acting in the world is the nature of things. Do you get me? Like,
yeah.
And it's like, you guys are trying to, even if bees did switch the hot dogs, what are we gonna do? Like, we didn't make these things. We didn't. We're not the creator.
They can't embrace change as well. Like, a lot of people can't embrace
man.
change, and they just want it to be certain ways. It's like, obviously, something that's quite similar. The Little Nas X video.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, there was a big discussion about, are you outraged because of the homosexual connotations, or are you outraged because of the spiritual connotations? And somebody said, I'm pretty sure it was easy. Somebody said, if you're going to tell me you're outraged about the spiritual connotation, why you let your pity them dress up as Duppy for Halloween and go around and beg people money and treats?
Beg people money. Shoot.
Do you know what I mean? Because I had to ask myself the question. I had to say, like, I was like, Ree, are we actually gonna allow our picnic them to go Halloween and do that? Because
yeah.
Let's actually really think about this for a second.
And that's the thing. If you do, and you feel like, oh, it's all fun and games, as I'm sure Little Nas has approached the video, like, there's not no deep thing. It's me, a man, doing the imagery of, you know, Satan and whatnot. You're going from heaven and or just religious whatever. But at the same time, like, he knows, like, he's trolling in it. Like, he knows, like, in this day and age, like, this is like, for my song to literally be on the tip of everyone's tongue, I'm gonna have to do something outrageous. And to him, he's just like, for the longest time, you know, Christians and the world of Christianity has made me feel a certain way. So, boy, take this and go on. You get me? Like, and he doesn't feel a way about it. Me personally, I wouldn't doubt, because I'm a strong believer in God and him being my creator, and I pray regularly, and just like, I'm not religious. I would never say, like, I'm living the Christian. Obviously, like, I've got a boyfriend.
You're a believer. You're a believer.
Yeah, I'm a believer that there is a creator and he made me in his image. So this is how it is, you know? So I don't feel like he made any mistakes in the creation of, like, you know, myself and all the blessings around me, and the fact that, you know, I'm not like, I'm not cast out from the heavens. So, do you get me? Like, it's not that. Do you get me? Like, I don't feel like people understand how it is in terms of about your journey, your personal journey with and your relationship with God. So I don't know if my man, even before he walked out on set, was like, God, like, I'm just trying to get the P, please loud. Do you get me? Like, we don't know,
we don't know. You're right.
Personal relationship.
You're right.
You get me? So,
I go on, Carter.
No, I was just agreeing, man. Go on, go for it, Cherry.
I saw it as the Little Nas one, as much as, like, I'm the same as you, Jermaine. I'm not really gonna dibble dabble in certain things and imagery, but it's like, I saw it as like an FU to the industry sort of thing. Like, dancing with or for the devil, so to speak, and then also killing the devil afterwards.
Yeah.
And then for me, I interpreted it like that. Obviously it's very, like, strong, and it's very, like, shock factors is high, but that's how I took it, because I don't know, I think I've stopped taking things at, like, face value again, like I would first time, and see, like, what is this really, what are you trying to communicate here? Because, I mean, we're in 2021 and there's so much new school, like, ways of presenting things. I just don't think people think that black and white all the time. So
Do
I
you know
feel like
what's
he was trying to
go on?
convey something else.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, just going back to what I said about standing out and what you have to do to stand out in this day and age, in this vast sea of, you know, just content and music, and everyone's an artist and blah blah blah. Like, what is the thing? What am I gonna do? Like, you know, going back to the Kid Cudi thing as well, like, that was a choice. That wasn't like, oh, this is how I dress every day. It was like a statement. You know, he wanted to pay tribute. He wanted to get people talking. He wanted to start a conversation. So I just feel like perhaps some people are, it's definitely different for Black men. Let's just say that.
Yeah, come on, talk the things, man.
Because, you know, Harry Styles wore a frock and cover of Vogue. Do you get me? And it was praised, and there was no backlash of, oh my days. And like, I'm definitely sure, like, these man, like, Wemium, my girl's husband from X Factor, what's her name? Sharon, and my man's biting
Ozzy
heads off of
Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne and them thing there. We talk about devil worship and all these types of things. And do you get me? There's no, like, you guys just, from white men, you guys just like, yeah, cool, like whatever. And that's like, whatever to that, because like I said, I'm not really going that far in terms of like any type of satanic imagery or whatever, but I just need you guys to really adjust your lenses to just recognize that we have to work so much harder to get attention. Black people, period. Like, they can, like, when I say they, I mean obviously Caucasian people, but like everyone else can, we have to be at the top of absolute excellence all the time and have outlandish things happen for you to turn around and be like, oh my gosh. And then you want to, then when it is, oh my gosh, it's attached to backlash. We can't just be like, oh my gosh, that was forward thinking or mega artistic or whatever. Like, it's always like, oh, he shouldn't be. Why are you trying to put Black men in a box? Like, let us be as free as them and succeed like them. Because the stuff that they're doing, like, if Usher ever went on Super Bowl and delivered that Justin Timberlake performance, he would be done out here. Do you get me? Like, in terms of the sharpness, in terms of everything, no matter, I don't care if it was a Prince tribute, whatever, choreo-wise, Usher could never be on the level of Justin Timberlake in terms of what he's delivered.
Right.
That last Man of the Woods album would have gone so much worse for Usher. Do you get me? Like, and we are held to such a standard that everything we do has to be, we can never be mediocre. So when we actually do be bold and brave and do these artistic things and pay tribute to things and get people thinking and be in a conversation, like, it needs to stop being attached to like, oh my days, he's changing, what we losing our Black kings and blah, blah, blah. Like, let everyone be free and be themselves, because if anyone's going to do anything, they were that person from the age of 3, 4, 5. Do you get me? There's no conversion period of anyone's life to open their eyes to any type of homosexuality, any type of like free thinking or whatever. That's the person that you gave birth to, and you need to embrace it and like stop making Black young gays feel like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be homeless when it's time for them to come out. Even coming out, for me, sorry to rant, but even coming out to me as a concept is just, when do straight people come out? When is that part, like, why are we not having that conversation? Stop coming out, just be. Show up with your boyfriend, lips up your girlfriend in public, just be, because we're not moving anything forward if we have to waddle along with our tail between our legs and go, mummy, this is who I am. Fuck that. This is who I am, and it's on Instagram. This is who I'm laying down, yeah? And this is how God made me, because it's coming second nature to me. I wasn't, me just speaking from experience, when I was 3, 4, 5 or whatever, I wasn't like, oh, something traumatic. I wasn't touched. No one got like, murdered in front of me, or my dad didn't leave when I was that young age. I wanted to lips up everything from I knew who I was. You get me? Like, boy, girls, whatever. I was underneath the table looking up girls' skirts, and I was looking at willies from young, bruv. Do you get me? Like, that curiosity was there from young. There was
Looking
no
at
like,
willies from
happens
young
to me. I hate the concept of thinking that, oh, if the dad leaves, like fucking Umar, whatever his name is, oh, if the dad leaves, then that's gonna result in, bruv, there are happy families with gay children, bro. Happily, well-financed, generational wealth, no issues whatsoever. But the son still turn around and be like, do you get me? So,
but I think the problem is just like it becomes a general blanket statement in it, because obviously there are truths in reasons as to why people there's obviously there's different scenarios, and there's people like you're saying that do understand who they are from they're very young, and there's some people that have decided to make certain decisions based on traumatic experiences, or like they're feeling like I don't know, there's so many there's different ways to swing it. I personally believe, but I feel like the problem is the fact that people make blanket statements about everyone, and then it just becomes the general narrative of you are this way because of this. No, there's a group of people that have that experience. There's a group of people that have that experience, but that ain't me. So level that.
That's right.
So that's generally how I feel about Kid Kudi and the dress.
I hear your point.
100%.
Do your thing, king. Do your thing, kings and queens. Live life. Dress how you want to dress. It's all garments. It's all like, do you get me, man? It's just Prince was out here showing his batty on award shows, bruv. Like,
but here's the thing.
Cheeks out.
I mean, like, even there was I think there was like a bit of a meme going around after Earth, Wind and Fire and Isley Brothers did their verses, it literally just showed how they were dressing in the 60s versus to how some of the like rappers now are dressing now, and they're saying, oh well, it's a little bit effeminate, and there's no difference. It's like, where have we got this idea that all of a sudden like Black culture has been feminized, when actually people were expressing the way that they want to be for years, and nobody. Isley Brothers, no one's thinking about no gayness when it comes to Isley Brothers. You know what I mean? Straight length.
The hair was laid. The eyebrows were everything, man.
Pimp shit, straight pimp shit.
And then when you show how they were like flexing in terms of their style, you're like, wow. Same with Prince. Like nobody was looking at Prince that way. It was just about, this is my expression, and I just think. I just think it's all long. Like you said, man, just be like, just
it's so blurred as well, because man like Snoop Dogg has been wearing like the girly bobbles in his hair and with the twist. Everything's mad from.
But that's a pimp mentality, isn't it? That's a pimp mentality. It's like pimp mentality is like, I'm so masculine. But I look pretty,
I'm pretty as hell.
Right. The bitches that are pimp. That's what that's about.
It's such a It's
obviously,
it's
like
mad.
Films like Breakdancer when man was in their belly top and that, bruv.
Turbo.
Man in the 80s. Turbo.
Come on, Turbo and Ozone.
Bare chest outdoors.
What I'm saying, man. Yeah. Jermaine, that was the speech of the world. That was the one.
Yeah, it was very good. And I think that you would touch a lot of people's hearts.
100.
With that speech. Then thank you very much for speaking your truth.
Yeah, man.
And sharing your emotions with us.
Thank you guys for listening.
And thank you for coming to the TED Talk. You're supposed to say that.
That's it. Lock it off.
Thank you for coming to the TED Talks. Well, I guess that that addresses those two scenarios. Okay, I'm sorry, just quickly, I don't want to spend too much time on this. But guys, I don't know about you, but I'm still getting messages about people telling me that people are tagging them in these artists' posts, and the scamming thing is still going on. I cannot. For those of you who haven't seen, we've done an actual whole discussion about artists who are going on Twitter and Instagram saying, yo, you know, anyone that's serious about their music, wants to take their career to the next level. If you know someone who's talented, at them on my posts and I want to work with them. And they're serious about taking everything to the next level. And then people at you, and then the artist slides in your DM, or a company on the behalf of the artist slides in your DM and says, oh yeah, if you want to work, like, it's how many hundreds of pounds to go on a mixtape, which doesn't get any promotion or any love or anything. And it's a scam. Yeah.
It's a scam.
But I'm still
600
getting
streams max.
Yeah, still getting messages about that.
It's wild. Like, it's me too, you know, Cherry. Like, people are DMing me all this week talking about it. And it's mad. I tell you what's disheartening, yeah, is that it's some of the artists that
Legend.
Yeah, man. Like,
Busta Rhymes.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you're Busta Rhymes. Like, I look at you different. You're Busta Rhymes.
He definitely doesn't need the P either. That's what's confusing to me.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't, and I'm gonna make a blanket statement here, so forgive me, but I don't know if it's like an American mentality where the hustle is just mad. Like,
gotta get this money. Gotta get this money.
Gotta get it back. Like, it just feels like
they must go on. Sorry to cut you.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, when you just see some of the names and that are in this, you just think, come on, man. Like, is your legacy and integrity not more valuable than, I don't know, 10 grand? Do you see what I mean? Like, for me, I just don't get it. You've done so much in the game. Like, for what? 10 bags in the month.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, the speech that the company must give these artists, or what is promised on the back end or whatever, must be absolutely just undeniable. Like, they can't walk away from it, because just for how it looks, just for you to question, like, how's this gonna look if I go online and say something, and when I know deep down inside that I have no intention of fulfilling or this is going to change anyone's life. Like, how is it going to make me feel? Like, for you to ignore that emotion.
That's the point. That's the part there that gets me. It's like, whatever the sales pitch was, at some point, yeah, you decided, yeah, I'm going to green light this. And that says a lot about your integrity as a human being, not even as an artist, not even as a credible artist, as a human being. There's, you know, at whatever cost it is, I'm going to shed some people. And that's what it is, basically. Like, you know, on paper, like, if we went to court legally, them man are delivering exactly what they said they're going to deliver. But from a moral point of view, it's wickedness. And that's what I don't get. I don't get, like, as a human, like, why would you be like, you know what, I'm gonna sell some dreams today, knowing that I'm not actually gonna cash them in at all. I'm not gonna, like, give them back. It's wicked. It's wicked. And them man are coming from the same place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, go on, Cherry.
No, go on. No, you finish.
Not even like they're like the old label model of A&R in, they like come in when they're young, and then they through this thing, and then all of a sudden they're a star over 10 years. These men are literally coming off of the street, coming from trapping, coming from poverty, coming from, like, some of the most deplorable situations and circumstances, and getting a big break and busting and changing their lives. Yeah. And now they're looking back at people that might not be in the same, like, situation, but it's the same, as in they have a dream, they believe, and they hope that actually music is going to take them to places that enable them to change their lives. And they're selling that dream. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that, knowing that at the end of it, there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing.
It's crazy. Morally. Because if you guys tuned into the sometimes we take these conversations to Clubhouse, and Like when we did that with this particular topic, it was like that we really got down to the nitty-gritty of the mess, when the messages just end and they just start ignoring your responses, and
Block
like as soon as you start asking the logical questions, then you get me, everything goes out the window. But before that, they're you know, promising the world and all these opportunities, and that they want to do this one thing first and then talk about big business after the fact. And like I said in the first conversation that we had when we talked about this in a previous video, to an unsigned artist, that sounds like you're signing me, like, and that's what it is. Like, that's,
or you're interested.
Yeah, or you're interested and you want to see where things go, or like you just want to represent me, or co-sign my thing. And we know what a co-sign does in this clout chasing world. So when we hear that, yeah, I just want, if this comes across the screens of anyone of influence or anyone who's in conversations with talking to this Ras Clark company, just know that you're breaking people down, like you're breaking hearts and you're crushing dreams by dabbling with these people. Yeah.
Can I just, you know, I want to say this, and then I think I'm like done with artists. Yeah, I'll tell you what I've learned this year, right? Whether you're a singer, songwriter, painter, dancer, photographer, whatever you do in the arts, yeah, listen to this. No one can bust you. No one. Only you can bust yourself. And if it's the will of God and you're doing what you need to be doing, then it's gonna happen. Like nothing that is for you will pass you by. Yeah. And no man is gonna set that up for you to have. Yeah. It's only you that can make that happen. So don't rely on these like DM sliders talking about, yeah, I can do this for you, I can do this. No one has that power. If they had that power, they would do it for themselves. Like, you look at some of these artists saying, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that for you. If they could do it, they would do it for themselves. They would be in a position where they wouldn't need to be like scamming you. So trust in your source, trust in what you believe you're meant to do on this earth, and do it 100%. Everything else will fall in line. Forget the rest. Forget the bullshit. Just concentrate on those two things, and everything else will fall in line. And whatever you want and whatever you desire, as long as your heart is clean, it's gonna come to pass. That's how I see it. It might take 15 years. It might take 20 years. It might be on your deathbed. Do you know what I mean? But just keep going. Go on, Cherry.
It's just mad because obviously, like, and even if somebody is trying to say they're gonna do that, nothing is free, darling.
This is what I'm saying.
Free.
This is what I'm saying. There's always going to be a transaction, and sometimes the cost is too high to pay. So,
have you guys seen the Tina Turner documentary?
Oh, not yet.
No.
Listen to me right now. Yeah, I know that we do our what have you guys watched the thing at the end, but listen, yeah, lock off everything you're doing. If you're an aspiring artist, yeah, that journey, yeah, aside from Ike and all the rest of that, her persistence, her faith in the fact that after everything crumbled, after she left Ike, didn't have nothing to her name. I don't know if you guys seen, obviously you guys definitely seen the movie. I trust that you guys have seen the movie because, you know, you're my guys. But guy, if you haven't seen what's Slub got to do with it, there's a scene in there where her and Ike have a fight, and you know, eventually she's done. But that was in the midst of like a tour, right? And in this, it's like it didn't address how the fact that when the tour didn't happen because they parted ways.
Don't do spoilers though. Don't do spoilers though.
Well, when it, I'm joking.
I really want to watch that. Where can I watch it?
Guys, Now TV, or like Sky or something like that. You can probably download. I think it's on HBO as well. It's bad. It's so like the age that she gets to, and the fact that she has to go out of her comfort zone and just that leap of faith, like it will give you hope. Absolute legend in the game. Like, I knew about Tina Turner, yeah, and like I knew the ins and outs, but I didn't know in terms of they just obviously touch upon when it tips over in it, when it's like this one song, yeah. Oh my, it's so sick.
I need to watch that. I'm watching that tonight. I have to watch that tonight.
Like I went to Manchester recently and we was watching all these documentaries and all these like sick Oscar-winning movies and just getting like mad inspiration or whatever, because obviously we was talking about music and art and all the rest of it. And I'm so upset that I didn't sit down with my producer and watch this documentary, because we watched what's it called, Michael Jackson Road to Motown thing, the Off the Wall one. We watched Green Book. I recommended Green Book the other day. That's heavily like music inspired and talks about like racism and back in the day and whatever. But so we was watching all the things in that type of ilk.
Green
right?
Book or Greenland?
Greenland and Green Book. Both of them is bad. But yeah, Green Book is the one I'm talking about. That's just very inspiring and sick or whatever. It's about a black pianist. Mahershala Ali plays the lead, and he's a legend. But yeah, this Tina documentary, like, I can't even, there's no words can describe the inspiration that I felt when it just got to you, when you think, or any traditional person would think that it's the end, and she's just like, nah, we're gonna do this now. And it's just so sick. Sorry, just watch it. Just watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm so glad you said that. I obviously, before you went there, Jermaine, I was just about to say about not just trying to drag the mood down, but you know, the whole scamming thing. Is that kind of similar to what that producer's doing?
Oh God! Okay.
Or is it different?
It's the same. It's the same. It's just like, it's just on different ends of the scale. All right. So let me. I'm gonna make.
Nah. Do you know why I think it's different?
Go on.
It's because he said that so ignorantly, and these people know what they're doing. That's the biggest difference.
There you go.
Do you get me? He's coming from a very, like, are you dumb, bruv? If you guys don't know what we're talking about Zaytoven's stupid ass tweet about, do you want to quote? Have you got? You're gonna read it? Yeah, go for it.
But I'll read it. So basically, he said, "I get approached by artists every hour. I want to sign one, but he have to have movement already. Where at the artist who has 100K IG followers that just need that extra push. Let's join." Okay, so some of that is in American speak broken English, but let me just break it down in English, what my man is saying, yeah? So big boy producer is saying every day he's getting approached by artists just trying to work or just trying to get themselves bust by him, yeah? Pause. And he's like, I want to sign one. I definitely want to sign an artist, but the kind of artist I want to sign should have about 100K IG followers already. They already got momentum, and all they need is a little push. And yeah, that's when I'm gonna join. That's when I'm gonna join in on the ship and help steer this thing forward. He tweeted that.
Welcome to the music industry.
This is what I'm saying. It's mad. It's mad. He tweeted that. Like casually, like, yeah, this is what's and the
he thought no. The thing is, what's pissing me off is that he thought that he was doing the Willy Wonka thing. Like he thought he was some kind of golden ticket, like, guys,
right.
I'm offering you guys a deal of a lifetime. You fucking dumb, bruv. If I've got 100K, I don't need you, Zaytoven.
That's 100K IG followers and I'm moving. I've got momentum. I don't need you.
I don't need your beats, bruv, for.
This is what I'm saying. You're mad. You're mad. If I've got 100K, come on. Real
He's
followers.
talking like he's Quincy Jones. And even then, it's like, when you've got your own ship moving to that degree, I've got 100K genuine followers. Do you realize what my monthly, if I'm turning that around merch-wise, if I'm doing all the things for them to subscribe to the things that can monetize that type of fan base on social media, do you think that your beats is gonna up my game?
This is what this is what really pissed me off. And Cherry said it, like, this is the music industry nowadays. It's not about talent. It's not, so one, it's not about being like talented. Two, it's not even about talent development. Like just saying, you know what, actually, I'm going to take a chance on this kid. And I believe that they're going to be something great. We just got to mold them and allow them to be a great artist. None of that exists anymore. It's about numbers, which is, for me, bullshit. That doesn't prove anything. Numbers don't prove anything. I can buy 100,000
Exactly.
That was my next point.
You know what I mean? I can do all those things and look like I'm moving, and my music is trash. Someone even said in the comments, but say if their music's trash. Like, they could have streams, they could have followers, but you're gonna back someone just on based on their followers. Followers that they have no. So even just deep it, yeah. IG, you don't have any real connection to your followers. Like, you don't have their email address, you don't have their number. So you're just depending on Instagram to promote you in front of them. If tomorrow Instagram closed down, you don't have a single email address. Who's gonna show up to your show if there's no Instagram for you to promote?
And that's the thing. Now. It's all dependent on algorithm as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's mad. It's mad that, and you know what? The industry is the industry. We can't even dog it for what it has typically been. Nothing's changed. It's a bank. It's an investment bank. It's okay, you're gonna make us money. You want this loan, and we're gonna make some money off of you based on the loan that we're giving you. And your talent is the money maker. And that's all it's ever been. Yeah. So let's not dog the industry for doing that. But it's when these individuals come up and like make it even worse. Like, really? So now music's just about numbers. It's just about how, like I said, these vanity metrics, which means nothing. And this is the cycle that then artists get into, feeling like, actually.
Exactly. Do you know what you just did, bro? Do you know what you just did to how much different up and coming artists, what the perception you just gave them? We're trying to, like, people who know how this actual fucking thing works, like, are trying to give people I'm talking from an artistic point of view as the creators, right? Trying to give them hope that, yo, no matter what, like, your talent is priority, your craft, like, get your shit together. And then now you've just undone so much work that genuine people have been trying to do by saying 100K and that gets you through the door. Bruv, do you realize what people are going to be trying to do now just for that?
And my worry is that the music's impacted because of this.
100%. That's the point.
Just making music anymore because actually this is coming from a place where I'm just creating.
He's just said,
I'm trying to get 100K, or I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to have my streams pop. Because then what happens is, and this is for me, like I've said before, music for me is bigger than just all of the stuff around it. Like,
right.
It has meaning in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, the biggest moments, the saddest moments, the happiest moments, like the things that I needed to get through, music has been there. It's been like my best friend. Do you know what I mean? It's helped me, like, it's been therapy for me. So,
bro,
take music out of the equation and all we have is for 100K. Like, I get it, and I'm not even dissing that music because it has its place. Do you know what I mean? But you take away like all the other things around it that make music special, what do we have left? What
Listen,
do we...
listen to me.
followers.
Listen to me right now. Yeah. Did you guys see that DJ Cassidy thing where he got all the R&B singers after a row? It was like Drew Hill, SWV, Next, Montel Jordan, Donell Jones, Gina Thompson. It was my take of Carl Thomas.
Wow,
bro, I was lashed. Yeah. But my take, what's it called? Soul for Real,
wow,
Candy Rain, and all them thing there.
Yeah.
Listen, they had all like one after the others consecutively, just going for mixing the songs in, and then jumping to the next song, and it being like, I can't believe you got this artist out of wherever they've been hiding for how many decades. Like Dina Howard, bruv.
That's mad.
Freak like me, she just dropped a vocal. Like, I was just like, for me, my takeaway from the whole thing.
What was it? Was it an event or something?
No, it was. I must text you guys right now with the link because it's absolutely wild. My auntie sent it to me yesterday, and basically.
Still didn't answer the question. What is it? An event or?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So it's basically like a basically, sorry. Apologies, I was in the zone. What it is, it's kind of like an at-home lockdown
DJ set
shows. Yeah, like DJ set where he just called up everyone and said, and it's dope how they done it. And they had like the different squares on the screen of the different members if it was a group situation, and it cut to him and they'd be singing and he'd be like, that's good, that sounds good, all this shit. I didn't really appreciate that side of things, but just seeing all the artists come together, the camaraderie of it, it was an epic moment, man. Obviously, not everyone has been like out here, like Coco from SWV, because when her vocal came in, bruv, it was an absolute issue. And I was like,
yo, she is, yo.
Oh, my life. But Carl Thomas was sick as well. When it was I was just like, nah, bro. I just had to turn it up. But anyway, I'll send you guys a link so you can watch and enjoy. But
sidebar, sorry, I was just quickly saying.
Yeah, it was like a cypher thing.
Sorry, quickly say, when I was in LA, I went to a Lucky Day party and Luke James got on stage and sang that song.
Oh,
wow.
I was just like, I'm out of here. But anyway, go on.
The beast, sorry, like flowers.
Yeah, 100%.
Flowers, all the flowers. So that happened, and my takeaway from the whole thing was that people don't strive to make music like this, even if it's the one song. Adina Howard's been freak like me for how many years? I don't know any other song that she has, guys. No disrespect. It's absolutely the opposite. It's all the respect, because you knew that was the song to run with.
Right.
That was going to impact from decades past this point, right?
Just like me.
Listen, I couldn't believe it. Everyone's got their headphones on. Everyone's like staying in time. It was sick. But my takeaway is that people don't make music like that no more. And it's, I don't need me to even sound like an old cruff, but people do make music like that, but it's what's the phrase? Few and far between.
Yeah.
Because focus on the song, what the song means, like what it's gonna do, who it's gonna affect, like what it is it
the story.
Yeah, the story behind it, all the writing, everything is like don't just stop putting music out just to be out. Then we listen to these playlists and we don't know who anyone is.
This is right.
I was in Manchester.
Why? Because people are striving to create vibes and not songs.
Oh, come
Facts.
on, Terry.
That's why.
That's it.
Facts.
That's
And
it.
they see a vibe and they say, "Oh, that worked for my girl, so let me do that."
Let me do that. I had
They
this
need to go back. They need to go back. Let me lay on the line.
Listen,
I had this conversation with Michelle. I think it was off the back of what that Angel interview, and when he was talking about how he just came up with came up. Cherry's on smoke today, you know.
I'm in that mood today.
You're just trolling everyone today. How he came up with Blessing, yeah. And he just said, you know what? He was just in the studio, and he just wasn't trying to create anything. Like, he wasn't trying to create a particular sound. It just came from him. It's like, you know, this is what I'm putting down, and he chucked it out there, and it went, yeah. Right. And I'm saying to Michelle, you know what's funny is that a man will hear Blessings and then be like, that's the vibe, and then jump on it and then think, oh, because my man did it, it's gonna bust me. The truth, the minute it's gone, that original
energy,
that's it. It's in that, it's compartmentalized in that moment. You can't recreate that. You got to find your own vibe. So there's no point, like you said, Cherry, always trying to jump on the vibe, because it's never gonna work. Like, for me in my career, some of the tunes that have gone for me, and I say gone in a mediocre compared to certain things, but are the ones that there was no expectation. Just wanting to create some shit.
Express yourself.
That's it. Yeah. And I don't even care if anyone hears this or it doesn't get on the radar, it doesn't do numbers. It was just, I just want to put this down for me. And those are the things that always go. It's the genuine, and I think people feel it and they hear it in the music.
Yeah, it's a sonic. That energy that you're in the studio with, and this sounds metaphysical and flipping sorcerer supreme, but that energy that you convey in that studio or in that recording, wherever you record the song, translates. It's energy. Energy doesn't die once it's expressed, once it's emitted, right? So that's why, you know, like whenever I hear an absolute thing that takes my face off, I always think to myself, they must have been going so mad in the studio. And that's just the facts. Whenever I've recorded anything that's absolutely left me in the recording process, and then I see what it does after that, I'm like, that's my energy emitted into the world. That's what you're hearing with every line. It's not, have you ever like recorded a demo, tried to record a demo, and it's not the same?
Yeah.
Or like you have to do a song like 2-3 times over, and it's like, this song is dead now because the energy, it's not even about the song. And sometimes it's like why some songs don't work for some people and some songs work for other people. It's like, it's an energy, man. You know, and you're trying to just say the same thing all the time and just not have no message to deliver and just go on that generic beat that sounds like Future from 2 years ago, and it's just like, guys, create something that's going to change people, that's going to change the pulse of where things are, that's going to not sound like nothing else. Like when we hear certain songs drop, when the first 2 seconds, that's all I need to sing, bruv.
And everything
didn't sound like nothing else when it came out.
Everything
relatable as well. It was relatable.
No one was even, that wasn't even the vibe of that moment. There was no other song that came out classic, to the point where Jay-Z's like, in what's it called, in the song that he's got with Pharrell, wish I never met her. It's classic. It translates, like shifts throughout culture, like, so you don't. It's you have to, like, guys, I just urge you, just as a from artist to artist, just be fearless with it, man. Stop trying to play it safe. That safe shit is dead. No one's gonna remember the safe shit. No one's gonna remember the safe shit.
And tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell the truth. Don't say what you think people want to hear. Tell the truth.
Yeah. Just say it. Do you know what? Going back to what you said, and maybe this is some advice for artists, and especially up and coming ones. Like, I've had lines, that I've whether it's an ad lib or even just a line that I've sang, and maybe like the tuning isn't that great or it's clipping, and I can't, and I've gone back to try and do it, and I've kept the original because actually the feeling in this line, I don't even care that it's off. I don't even care, and it's gonna mess up the mix. The feeling is there, and that's what and
that's the Mary J. Blige effect, mate.
This is it. This is it. And I know we dog Mary, but when you hear them songs, like you're taken back by it, man.
No one's messing with Mary's catalogue.
No one.
You can't dog it. You cannot.
You're not messing with her catalogue, regardless of anything. Like,
over everything. You know what? That brings me on to something I wanted to talk about, right? And I promised myself that I was never going to use this podcast to like vent about real world stuff that happened in my life, but I think it's quite relevant.
What do you mean? I do that all the time.
There's certain things I just think, like coming from like a church vibe, and like when a preacher preaches a message, but they're really just talking about one person in the congregation, and that
indirect.
It's
sneak dissing.
And I don't want to indirect anyone, and it's not this. This for me is something that happened, and I just needed to talk about it because I just feel like, and we're talking about producers, and I think there needs to be a balance. Okay, so